What's good, Grilla family? Pitmaster Shane D here. Before we get too far into this recipe, listen, there's a lot of ways to get crispy grilled chicken wings. That's why you're here. That's why you landed on this recipe. And if you're not down with the baking powder method, listen, you could just pre-salt these wings, put them on the same rack we're going to talk about, let them hang out overnight, dab them dry, and then hit them with extra high heat, like in the 400 range, and really char them and get your crispiness that way. And honestly, that way works fantastic. So if you're not into this method, that's cool. This is one method. I'll say it again. One method by which for you to get crispy grilled chicken wings. So with that said, let's jump in here and let's talk about it start to finish. And let's start with what you need and start breaking down some chicken. Okay, so right out of the gate, one of the keys to success is having a good wire rack that you can put on a cookie sheet or whatever, because you're going to have to store these wings in the refrigerator. Really about 8 hours is optimal here, okay? So you want air to move around them. What you're trying to do is really dry out the wings, and you're changing the pH of the skin in the wings. That's ultimately what's, the science behind what is really helping out there with browning those wings. So let's talk about how we break them down. First, you got to have a good knife, right? You'll notice how I'm holding the chicken, kind of stretching it, playing with it. And, what I'm pointing to is the joints where you're going to cut. So take your time. Kind of, if you'll stretch out that chicken, it'll show you exactly where to cut. That wing tip always comes off easiest. I always apply a little pressure to the joint. And if I can't find it, you'll notice there, I kind of bend it open and then I expose the joint more. But believe me, after about 2 or 3 of these, you'll get to be a rock star and be able to knock out the joint each time. Alright, Maestro, cue the high-speed footage here, and we'll keep talking about how we're doing this. Again, I do the wing tips first. I put a little pressure on the joint. You see the wing tip just come away so easy. And again, like I said, after the first couple, bang, man. You're knocking these out. Not quite as fast as this. This is, probably 4 times speed normal. But you can knock out a bag of wings really quick. And this is plenty enough for the game day. Now, you don't have to break these wings down at all. But no one really eats the tip. And frankly, I like drummies versus the flats. So I always break them down. Your call, though. This recipe works the same either way. So, if you want to break them down, great. If you don't, totally understand. Alright, let's talk about what makes these wings crispy. And it's the baking powder. So what I like to do is mix all this into a zip top bag, put your wings in, put your, you can go ahead and put rub in here if you wanted to, salt, pepper, whatever, along with your baking powder. Now, this calls for a lot of baking powder. I would actually dial this back a little bit if it were me for 4 pounds of wings, because that baking powder, while it doesn't have a flavor, it can throw other flavors off. So you have to know that, and you need to come back with a good rub or a good sauce to really balance this out. So keep that in mind if you use this method. So, I don't recommend just doing these naked per se. So for 4 pounds of wings, and that is a lot of wings, folks. It's going to feed a lot of people. I use a little less than about a half a cup of baking powder. One thing I will say is I will go heavier on the salt in this mix depending on what my rub is. If my rub does not have a lot of salt, add your salt here. Go ahead and move that up to a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon, or whatever you want to do there. Okay. Now, the salt I'm using here, it's black Hawaiian salt. That is actually salt. I promise. I know it doesn't look like salt. It's black. It's confusing, but I just like it. It shows up on the wings. That's the only reason I really use it. To me, it really doesn't taste that much different. Okay, so your wings are all shook up. Anyway, once you got them all shook up, everything's well coated, lay them out on your rack. Leave a little bit of space. You want air to move around them, and you want to leave plenty of room so when you come back in a few seconds and season them, you can get to the top coat. You don't have to season them right now. In fact, if you just want to put them in the refrigerator as is, it won't hurt. You can wait till later to season them. That's totally your call. In this video, I actually seasoned them After they came out of the refrigerator, I let them sit for about 4 hours, and then pull them out, and then hit them with the rub and put them straight on the grill. Okay, so now let's talk about the most controversial part of this whole video, the cooking process. And you can watch me chop some celery here and play around while we're talking about it. But listen, the key to these really is a higher heat, okay? If you're going to do this on one of the pellet grills, Chimp, OG, Silverback, I will totally put that whole wire rack directly on the grill because I like cooking with it. It makes it easier to transport and to rub and the sauce and everything. But I totally use the startup smoke, and I will go out and set the grill to 350, 375, depending on how fast I want them done. And then I just throw them on. I walk away. I, I give that advice a lot, and you guys you don't think I'm serious, but one of the best things you can do a lot of times in your cooking is just trust the process and walk away. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but just trust the grill to do what it's supposed to do. Are these wings going to be ultra super smoky? Nope, they're sure not. Because the title of this wasn't ultra super duper smoky crispy wings. Understand, we're trading some things here. To get the crispiness, we're cooking this a little faster. So we're not exposing it to as much smoke, okay? So just understand that going in. But if you want fast, good wings, these work. And again, if you want to skip the baking powder, just pre-salt them. Let them hang out a little while. Take a paper towel, dab them dry, hit them with your rub, put them on the grill at high heat, and you're still going to have a fantastic product. Can you do this direct from frozen? Absolutely. I've taken frozen wings many times, totally thrown them on the grill, and as they basically, after about 20, 30 minutes, they'll start to, thaw basically. They're melting, and that's when I put my rub on. And it works great. I've done it plenty of times with no problem. So what I want you to walk away from this video understanding is there's a lot of ways to skin this chicken, as my grandpa used to say, instead of it being a cat. So don't get caught up too much in this is the only way, or you got to do it this way. I see comments on the no flip burger often. They're like, oh, these things take forever. Why would they ever recommend cooking them that way? That was one of like 5 burger recipes we have on the site. It's one method. You have to decide which method's best for you, and or what outcome you want, and then choose your cooking method based on that. I know it's a simple thing, but I think people get so tripped up in trying to be perfect that they forget just to enjoy it. So just like me chopping the celery, taking my time. Do I have to make all the celery sticks the same size? No, I certainly do not. But why not? I'm there. I'm enjoying it. It's game day. Having a little adult beverage. So I like my celery sticks to match. If I'm going to put them on the plate, that's just me. Now I won't do this necessarily with carrots, but I'm more of a celery guy than a carrot guy. But that's okay. Whatever you like on your plate. So once the wings are done, you want them to hit. Listen, you just want them to get to about 180, 185. Those are better cooked wings, in my opinion, than 165. I like the bite through on those. Once they're there, pull them off. Sauce them as they're coming off if you want. If you want to burn some of the sauce, you can. Some people like that burnt kind of sauce. Or if you're like me, I like to toss mine or paint mine with sauce as they're resting. That's just my personal preference because I really like a sweet counterpoint to the sauce if I'm going to eat a sauce wing. Otherwise, I just eat the naked wings. And you can see, throw a plate out there. We got my little mascot, Gorilla George, hanging on the side of the ramekin. We got a little bit of ranch there. Plop down some celery and start building your plate. And then, hey, it's game time. It's food time. Enjoy it. We hope all you Grillas and Grillaettes have enjoyed this video. As always, I'm Pitmaster Shane D. This is Gorilla Grills. This is the crispy chicken wing recipe known as Gorilla'd wings. Again, we hope you enjoy it. If you use this recipe, let us know. We love seeing your pictures. So, Send those pictures in. Mark and I love seeing them. You never know. Sometimes we send out a sauce or a rub as a thanks. We love hearing your reviews. Throw the reviews on the site. But at the end of the day, we put these recipes up here for you. They're not for us. This is our cookbook to you to give you some ideas, some things to do with your Grilla grills to make you what? What do I always say, guys? To make you a star in your backyard. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you make this for the next game day. Until next time, we'll see you later.